suppress, infantry move up the left side and clear that way.
Hey guys, today what I'm going to do, I'm just going to talk a little bit about key bindings for communication. The reason I want to talk about this is because with the current default keys in game, they use the number pad keys as well as the Z key, I believe. They are the default keys for for communicating in game. So what I'm going to talk about today, I'm just going to kind of share the setup I use so I can continue to play the game while communicating almost constantly without it being a problem. So this isn't going to be a scripted video, so I've seen like I'm going to pause a bit. That's why. It's just because I haven't written a script for this because I don't feel I need one. So that's just what it's going to be. It's going to be some ramblings, so be warned. Okay. So going to get right into it. So it's going to be just a couple of pictures and showing you the in-game screenshots of things because it's probably the easiest way I can do this. What I've got here is just a kind of a picture of my setup. The key thing here, right? All of my communications keys, apart from one, which is the Z key, which is for in-game squad chat, is mapped to my number pad. The reason I've done this is because the number pad is just to the left of my WASD keys, which is quite handy for any situation where I'm not actually on the ground, so that can be the likes of force commanding or platoon leading for the dev screen, or wait in transit for a galaxy. So that the majority of my keys are mapped to that. However, on my mouse, what I've done, I've macroed a bunch of keys on that to the number pad keys, which I'm showing you now. So as you can see, I've got proximity chat on my kind of there's like 4 buttons in the middle. You got the middle mouse button, one just ahead of it, and then 2 behind it. That back one is a DPI switcher, which I don't really use much, so I might actually rebind that. But as you can see, I've got proximity chat set, in-game proxy chat set to the furthest one, and then platoon voice chat set to the other one marked there. So what I do with that, actually, I've got a second kind of macro preset where when I'm playing in any competitive event or in ops, that'll switch to number pad 2, which I have set up in TeamSpeak as my key for the likes of Miller squad lead or Redcom squad to squad. So they're kind of like the squad leader channels voice setups that I use. And then just looking at kind of the side of the mouse there, I've got 3 fun buttons. The middle one is kind of the dotted one. I use that for my TeamSpeak push to talk, which is bound to number 8. So if I just cut to an image of my keyboard there, you can see what I've got. I've got kind of the number pad keys on the left, and I've just got the lone Z key on the right. Like I said, the Z key is for in-game squad chat, and most of my number pad keys are just for communication. So number 1's in-game platoon chat, number 2 is the channel commander or competitive squad lead comms, which is the 2 of which are also bound to my mouse. Then I've also got in-game proxy chat as just default 4, and force commander comms is number 6. The reason I have that is during the smash, what we'll do is we'll assign what's called Miller command, which is a private command line between the force commanders and the air commander, which allows us direct communication with the air platoon without having to annoy everybody else. So that's what our air commander kind of does. And the between the force commanders, we just use it if we're in different channels, if we're giving a platoon leader kick in the ass or something. And what I've got there as well, I've got number pad 7, which I believe is the default in-game command key. That isn't used as much, so I don't really bind that to something near my WASD or on my mouse. So I usually just leave it there, because I'd only really use that if I'm in a galaxy or if I'm in the death screen or something like that, or not really moving, because you don't use it that often. And it also doubles up as a whisper list for the service smash platoon comms we use on the Planetside Battles TeamSpeak. Again, that's only really used during a service match, so it's not really a problem for rebinding. So I just leave that as a default key and just remove the in-game command channel key binding so it doesn't echo. And like I said before, I've got my TeamSpeak push to talk key is number 8, which is also bound to my mouse. And on number 9 is in-game outfit chat, which I almost never use. So I just leave it on there. So why am I telling you all this? Well, the reason I've rebound all my keys like this is so that I've got my most common ones handy, which are the TeamSpeak push to talk key, the in-game platoon chat key, and the squad lead to squad lead channels pretty handy and ready if I need them. So what a really important thing to consider when you're leading squads is you need to be able to talk to your squads very, very easily without it disrupting your own gameplay. That way you can shoot people while also squad leading, which is very handy, and it also helps, communicating as much as you can consistently can really help to motivate your guys and keep them working together at a decent cohesive level. So without it disrupting your gameplay too much, it can also serve as a motivator for you, so that you don't get bored and bogged down and just looking at a map all the time, unless you're force commanding or sometimes platoon leading as well. But I thought this was just something handy I'd share with you guys. Obviously, don't use it as a guide or anything like that. Just what I would suggest is experiment with what you want with your own setup, because everyone's setup's different. Mine's going to change in about a week because I've ordered myself a new mouse with more buttons on it. But yeah, just experiment. See if you can assign your most common ones to your mouse key without it disrupting, your normal gameplay that to a significant level. And keep the least common ones somewhere accessible, but not not in the way of everything else. Thanks for watching this video. It was kind of a rambling, I know that, but it was a nice quick one. I thought it might be a good idea. I just want to give a shout out to Goldenman, because he actually gave me the idea for making this in one of his videos. That video you can check down in the description below. And I'll put a link to it there along to his channel. I do suggest subscribing to it. He does have some good content on there. And yeah, thanks guys, and see you for another video whenever I put one out. Alright, bye.